Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's edition of Press Hour. The first ordinary session, the March Bureau elective sitting of the 2025 parliamentary year ends this week. Yes, we are told that their mandatory role is to vote laws and control government action. We also learn that controlling government action refers to the mechanisms and processes that ensure government actions align with established laws, policies, and public expectations, that is, holding government accountable. The control mechanisms are checks and balances, judicial overview, transparency, independent oversight bodies, and citizen participation. Take these mechanisms as a scale and place our parliament on it. The weight will be obvious, as parliament is called upon to hold government accountable for its actions. Members of parliament, especially of the National Assembly, are supposed to be answerable to the citizens who directly vote them into office. If you assess the contribution of your parliamentarian in your community development, will you give them a pass mark? It is the same question we are asking about the mayors. If the answer is whistling in the air, then the time of reckoning is in. The constitutionally postponed municipal and legislative elections to take place in April 2026. Before that time, on Press Hour today, our focus is on how are members of parliament and mayors impacting development in their constituencies. This is Press Hour, and I am Kilian Ndandifon in Yaoundé. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome back. How are members of parliament and mayors impacting development in their constituencies? That will be our focus on Press Hour today, and we have the following as panelists on today's edition of the program. We have Richard Lajong, who is a publisher of the Herald Tribune. Richard, you're welcome.
It's my pleasure, Kilian, to be back on set after a while, and I think that today's edition of the program is going to be a special one, especially when we have some strong minds who are conversant with issues of development. And I'm talking of my brother over there, who is of the Northwest Regional Council, Mr. Awunti, whom I'm meeting for the first time. And I want to say that he's been doing quite much. I mean, because most often I see his name appear on news stories in my newspaper that is among the populace, and I'm going through and I see his name and I say,
today,
thank God,
has
he's doing well.
To you. Thank you very much, Richard, for coming, and I'm going to move to the extreme right of the set to introduce Do Bertrand, another colleague, a journalist, who is the managing editor of the Guardian Post newspaper. Bertrand, once again, welcome.
Thank you very much, Kilian. Happy Sunday to Cameroonians out there. Thank you for bringing me back on set.
You're most welcome, and I want this time to introduce Chief Nasako Daniel Molondo. He is a traditional ruler, but ladies and gentlemen, also know that he is a researcher in decentralization and development. Welcome to Press Hour, Chief.
Thank you, Kilian. I think, even I'm not mistaken, this will be the third time you're inviting me in this program to talk about a decentralization process in Cameroon. And it's just coming to at a time where I'm conducting my research on my PhD research on decentralization. So actually, it's a good topic for me because I'm evaluating decentralization and governance process in Cameroon 5 years after the major national dialogue. And I've gone quite some ministries like Mindever, I've been there, public service, I've gone to some institutions, and presently I'm to go to INAM to see how they are managing the governance system in that prestigious institution of Cameroon.
Our viewers now know why repeatedly I bring you here. And again, as a traditional ruler by your right, you see how you are totally involved in this. Now, please, you let me also introduce the other panelists whom Richard made mention of. Mr. Rejung Awunti, he is the Commissioner for Economic Development in the Northwest Regional Assembly. You're welcome to this program. You have met Richard. Richard should be meeting you for the first time. You are meeting him for the first time, and I know so many of our viewers are also meeting you for the first time. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. I really appreciate being on this panel to talk about development as regards our local region. I would like to just highlight here that I'm neither a mayor nor a parliamentarian, but when it comes to development efforts, there are things which we can share on this forum that would help to move the ball forward.
Yes, sir, and that's why we have invited you as a Commissioner for Economic Development in the Northwest Regional Assembly. We look forward to having so much from the regional assemblies that we have, which is part of the special status. The others have regional councils. We have a regional assembly that resemble that what we used to have in those days in the English-speaking extraction of this country. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, Yoti Kaleli Songe is going to read the newspapers for us. It is all about the press. Press R. Yoti.
The print media's treatment of some of the week's news stories gave the readership the impression of watching a Sunday debate program, particularly those relating to politics. President Biya's move to appoint new members of the CPDM Central Committee is seen as him being the sole commander-in-chief of the New Deal regime on the median, a decision the Sun hails, which Cameroon Tribune treats on a similar note. The appointments, however, trigger verdicts on opinion slots of newspapers such as The Guardian Post that opts for phrases like, "When CPDM dog bites master." The paper further enlightens readers by suggesting, as per the Yoruba orthodoxy, that only a good friend tells you your mouth smells.